Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the Miami Dolphins. It's an Indian summer afternoon. Perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On second down, Elliott. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Here's Prescott. Over the middle, Cooper with it. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a first down pickup.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A first down carry by Elliott. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. The tackle that time by William Hayes.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. 2 yards on the first down carry and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Going up top. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Michael Gallup, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Jakeem Grant now to return. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
Watch it now, Barney!
They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down.
Detroit! Detroit!
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now let's go! 3-19! 3-19! Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And credit the tackle to Taco Charlton with a stop. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. DeMarcus Lawrence coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Now this is fielded in the end zone. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got him the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Where they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach and incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Back near his goal line, it's Prescott. He's going to look deep down the field. And got his man complete. A big play here for Dallas. 43 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Again to Elliott. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Second down, Prescott. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
For a rookie first-rounder, he's made a huge impact on this defense, but that tells me that they had a plan for him when they drafted him. Just turn him loose, Do what you do best. Go get the quarterback.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Charles Harris in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Back deep, Golden Tate. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. The play fake. He'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. It's caught inside the 25. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now a handoff to Ingram. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Watch him now, Barney!
On 2nd down, Ingram. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Detroit! We got three, fellas. We got three. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Leopard! Detroit!
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Flush to his right. Shrugs him off. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. The kick by Sanders is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
And out now come the Cowboys. And on the last goal,
they had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
47.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here we go, 46. 26.
Prescott now on second down. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
Here we go, 48. Gun. 26.
Prescott on first down. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
One thing they definitely like about this youngster is his motor. He is full throttle on each and every snap. Loves to get after the quarterback, and that has to feel good to him right there. His first career sack.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on second down.
Hey, switch. Hey, we're going right there.
A second down throw for Prescott. And the pressure gets to him again. Robert Quinn in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a third and long. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's third and long.
Right there, over here. Right there. Hey, check. Here we go, 47. 26.
Prescott from the gun. Well, he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup to give him 27 yards on the third down conversion. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Here we go. Wide in. Gun. 26.
First down, Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Get out. 57. Here we go. Go to 54. Wide in. Here we go. 46.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. The Cowboys on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Cooper's got it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. A first down throw for Prescott. Dancing to his left. 11 more on that one and another first down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. From the red zone now, Prescott. Buying time is, Prescott stripped. And the Dolphins have got it. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Partner, when you're playing cover 2, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Gun. Here we go. 180. Gun. Switch and
Now Prescott. Flushed out, and he's going to go down again. William Hayes in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys, after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Here's Prescott. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. And forthcoming, a field goal try for the Cowboys. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it 1st and 10. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. They'll throw now on the final play. And that'll be incomplete. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Ingram again. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the 1st level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
They'll set up a throw, and he will go down. A Cowboys sack. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense,
we
got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Go, get out there. Hey, we're going right there.
They go down it again. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10.
Get out there. Hey, we're going right there.
10th carry now for Elliott. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Hey, we're going right there. Start that over here. Start there. 26.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Alert 3. Check 43. Run! Hey, swing.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
We go 47.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 6.
We go 46. We go 47. 26.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
They only need a yard here. 3rd down and 1 after the penalty.
Go, get out there. Go, get out there. 26.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he's got the 1st before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense is getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Prescott to throw this time. Steps away to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
46. Switch from 8. Gun.
Now Prescott. Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rashad Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Back to throw now in his own end zone. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The Dolphins on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They'll set up to throw. And he finds Stills, complete. He's at the 50, the 30, past the 20, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Kenny Stills, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Prescott. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Prescott now. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Room to run past midfield. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. A handoff. It's Mark Ingram. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Baby. Get him, boy. Get him, boy. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Again, they'll run with Ingram. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a first and goal.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was he?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. They'll run here with Ingram, and this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
319! 319! Check. Gun! Hut!
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Back to throw here. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range. But boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Lets it fly deep for Cobb. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on second down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
46. Here we go, 46. 46.
Here's Prescott. Over the middle, Amari Cooper. It's complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 19 yards that time for number 19.
That's exactly what they were looking for. If they get another gain like that, they'll be right there in field goal range.
And the tension building. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go, 47.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible.
Yeah, this is going to be caught. He got it. It's a touchdown, and forget overtime. Barring a miracle, they're going to win this thing in regulation.
And that score in this time frame, that's like a big reveal at the end of a great movie, isn't it? Out of nowhere, almost, it appears. They get it done. How about that score?
Finishes like this. This is why we love sports. This is why we love the game of football.
So glad that we got to be here to watch this one.
The return man is Grant. He's got the lane, and there he goes. He's into the end zone. Unbelievable. A defensive collapse on the final play, and Charles, they can tie him with a PAT.
I cannot believe that. Well, there's no doubt they just seized the momentum with that one. They can go ahead and kick the extra point here and ride that home wave on into overtime.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that will level the playing field at 17 all. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Now the return. Here comes Randall Cobb. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Here comes the first throw in OT for Prescott. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go, 48. Here we go, 47.
Now a first throw here in overtime. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A good first down call as the screenplay gets him 9. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Here we go, 46. Here we go, 48. Here we go, 47. Woo. Here we go, 46. 46.
The give is to Elliott, and he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. 20th carry here for Elliott. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
2 minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this.
Kill. 26.
They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And he's taken down inside the 30. 11 more on that one and another first down.
That's a lot of beef thundering downfield off of the toss play, and it takes me back to when I was a kid and watching USC play. Remember the old toss that they ran? They used to call student body right or student body left because everyone was out in front of the ball carrier. In fact, one of their favorite plays, it was called rose stem right or rose stem left, depending on the formation, 28 toss. And 28 toss was their bread and butter.
They'll try to sweep with Elliott. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That could give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward, and it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off, but in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
47, 26.
Now Elliott. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 2, now third down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. Third and 8 situation. A tough spot here in overtime on the opening drive.
Here we go, 46. Done. Here you go. 26.
Here's Prescott. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And his kick is good. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
And out come the Dolphins now. The field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive. They're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also kicking off and giving the other team the ball with a chance to kick a field goal and beat you. Get the touchdown, finish the game off.
And that's caught inside the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. Well, in overtime, I think coaches always wondering, where's that magic line for my kicker? They're already in field goal range after that big play.
I'm glad you brought that up because that magic line can change throughout the game. It's constantly being updated by teams. It starts with pregame. Okay, how do you feel? As the game goes on, they might ask him again, still feel that same number? Is it a different number? Right hash, left hash, what do you need? And that goes into the play calling in OT.
The Dolphins on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. They're going to look to throw. Forced out to his left. And that is incomplete. Once that ball was popped in the air, you could almost hear the silence, the collective breath being held here in the stadium.
Let's be honest about it. We both came out of our chairs, didn't we? All right, anytime you see the ball in the air like that, there is that collective rise, the crowd holding its breath, and boy, oh boy, the moment of truth as it comes down. Man, that was something.
Everything magnified here in overtime. Sanders' kick is good, and that's going to tie things at 20. Well, how about this? The very, very rare tie that we just witnessed. Hard to believe.
You don't see it very often. A bonus period of football, yet both teams go home a little bit unsatisfied.